A storage device is sort of like your refrigerator because it stores stuff. When you want to store something for a longer time, you can put it in your freezer, which is somewhat analogous to a backup device on your computer. A backup is not necessarily a copy of every file on your computer's hard disk. The term full backup is somewhat misleading. Although it can refer to a backup of every file, it can also mean that you are backing up only a selected group of files, but that you are backing up every file in this group each time that you make a backup. Suppose that you have 5 data files on your computer that you need to back up. If you specify these files as your backup set, every time you perform a full backup, the entire contents of all these files will be copied to the backup medium, even if the data in these files has not changed since the last backup. A differential backup copies only those files that have changed since the last full backup. Suppose that you've made a full backup of your data. Then you edit one of your files and create one new file. Then you make a differential backup. The file that you modified and the file that you created will be copied to your backup. Suppose that you next modify a different file and perform another differential backup. This time, 3 files will be copied to the backup: the file that you created and both of the files that you changed since you made the initial backup. An incremental backup is slightly different. It backs up only those files that have been added or changed since the last backup of any kind. Let's use a different set of files to see how this works. Suppose that you've initially backed up 4 files. You can change one file and create one new file. When you perform an incremental backup, only these 2 files are copied to the backup. Now, suppose that you modify one of the other files and then perform another backup. With an incremental backup, only this modified file is backed up. If you had been making a differential backup instead, it would have made another copy of the first file that you modified, the new file that you created, and the second file that you modified, all of the files that had changed since the initial backup.